Live from Austin, Texas, with host Rosie Newberry. Local trends, shopping, and more. This is Studio 512.
The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by the Austin 125. Austin 125 is a professional tennis tournament on the Hologic WTA Tour taking place November 3rd through the 9th at the Austin Tennis Academy at Spanish Oaks. The event will include global Women's Tennis Association stars, including UT legend and current professional tennis player Peyton Stearns. She joins us now along with Christo Van Rensburg, tournament director. Christo, my very first question is coming your way because you are the brains behind all of this. You started with the ATX Open and now we've got the Austin 125. So Austin is quickly becoming a women's professional tennis stronghold. Why'd you pick Austin?
Well, the WTA always looked at Austin the last 10 years to bring women's sport into Austin, and I think we just opened and gave them the opportunity at the right time, and we are growing so fast, so we're very excited. Having that now for 3 years, we've just added our new Austin 125 also.
And so Peyton, we come to you, my friend, very accomplished. And so now you play professionally. Can you just give me an idea of what your day-to-day looks like now?
Yeah, it's chaos always. You never know what the next day holds. But you know, in the tennis world, you learn that pretty quick. Our season's 10 months of the year.
It's a long one.
Very long, but fortunately for me, having now 2 tournaments in Austin, it's like staying at a second home, so it makes life on the tour a little bit easier for me.
Okay, all right. Christo, tell us more about the Austin 125 and how this tournament came to be.
This one is actually brought in now because of the success we had since 2019. And at the ATX Open in 2023, we started with 15,000 people. Mm-hmm. We have just broken 22,000 people.
Nice.
So now we felt there's room to add another one because the spectators told us they love seeing professional athletes here.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, and how can fans get tickets to Austin 125? Because there are a couple of different tiers, couple different options, especially if you want to get fancy.
This is the inaugural tournament, so we've lowered the money for tickets really low. We want families to come out on the austin125.com.
Peyton, what's it like when you see younger folks in the stands? Maybe you're inspiring them to be interested in tennis. How does that feel?
It feels pretty good knowing that I was one of them as a kid running around watching the pros play. It's a very strong 125 compared to the other ones in the season, so you'll be missing out if you don't come.
Absolutely. And you said, what color would you like to see in the stands?
Burnt orange.
All right. Thank you all both so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Get your tickets now at austin125.com. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by the Austin 125.
The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association. This November, voters will consider Proposition 14, which would direct $3 billion over 10 years from state surplus funds to create the Dementia Prevention and Research Institution of Texas. If approved, it'd be the largest state-funded Alzheimer's and dementia research program in the nation. Dr. Joanne Pike, an Austin resident and president and CEO of the Alzheimer's Association, is here to discuss the ballot measure and its potential impact on research, treatment, and caregiving in Texas. So, Dr. Pike, how common is Alzheimer's in Texas and who kind of feels its impact?
Dementia is a growing crisis in Texas. Alzheimer's affects over 460,000 Texans over the age of 65. And it's not just the people who are diagnosed, it's also their family caregivers. And right now there are over 1.1 million family caregivers in the state of Texas. And in the next 2 to 5 years, Texas will become the oldest state based on our age and population in the country. And so this moment is really a great opportunity for Texas to lead in the fight against Alzheimer's and dementia.
Yeah, that's a fascinating kind of stat I would have never known. So why don't you tell people a little bit more about what Proposition 14 is and kind of what will happen if this does pass?
Proposition 14 would create the largest state-funded dementia research program in the U.S., allocating $3 billion from the Texas General Revenue Fund over 10 years to establish the Dementia Prevention and Research Institute of Texas, really making Texas a model and a leader in the fight for prevention, treatments, and a cure, offering hope to Texas families while also positioning the state as a global leader in dementia research.
Yeah, I love that. Can we go a little bit deeper? How would this kind of affect Alzheimer's research specifically here in Texas? Because I think when we think research sometimes, it's so broad, and it's nice to get kind of a better scope on what that looks like.
Yeah, and Texas is a great leader already. We have multiple research institutions throughout the state that would really have the opportunity to deepen their research portfolio within Alzheimer's and dementia. So they would focus in on really giving these research grant dollars to the institutions within Texas. It also gives us a chance to broaden the economy. So businesses who focus in on Alzheimer's or dementia could expand their portfolio here in Texas as well. Now is a great opportunity for Texas to lead in the fight against Alzheimer's and dementia. And to learn more, you can go to alz.org/yeson14.
Yes on 14. Thank you so much, Dr. Pike.
Thank you.
The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Styled by Anya.
I'm Style Smart expert Anya Sar, and did you know that as the seasons change, so should your sheets? For a sneak peek at Peach Skin Sheets' dreamy new patterns, I invited Next Star's Dana Devon to get tucked in on the trend.
I'm in love. Peach Skin Sheets has always had the best solids on the market, but now they have all these patterns.
34 solids, and the customers have been asking for years for patterns. It took founder Karen Levine, who you know, 10 years because she was researching, the timeless patterns that will last forever, not trends. And she finally came out with 14 different patterns, so there's something for everyone. So this bed we're in now, this is the French blue floral choix pattern, and the choix actually comes in 4 colors total. And I love this because it goes, of course, with the French blue. It can go with navy.
I'm obsessed with the black and white.
Which is so funny because I love the sage green floral choix, but look how good the retro rose choix looks with the blue.
I think they go together so well.
Right? And you can have a whole choix bed. You can get tucked in with choix. Girls have never seen better days with these watercolor patterns. Now, you and I are fighting over this bed right now.
I would have died if they'd had these when I was a teenager.
So this is the watercolor butterfly and the watercolor ombre leopard. This is where layering patterns works.
Yes.
It works so beautifully, and it instantly gives you a chic bed.
And you cannot sleep on this trend of mixing and matching all of these patterns together.
Patterns and solids, because Peach Skin Sheets has 34 luscious, yummy, solid colors already. Boys can now say sheet yes to peach perfect patterns. Look at this. This is the neutral twill stripe.
This is so cute.
So this is the graphite gray camouflage. And look, we mixed it with the brushed silver and the charcoal. Now, wait, Dana, there's more. This is called the holiday plaid. I mean, picture this with the emerald green.
Yes.
I can't. And then this is, of course, the French blue plaid. So you know this about Peach Skin Sheets, but this is the shortcut to a designer look. Having a designer bed without breaking the bank. Customers asked for it, and Peach Skin Sheets delivered it. This is my personal favorite. Out of the 14 new patterns, this is the Midnight Black Ribbons and Bows collection.
It is so classic. It is so elegant. It's beautiful.
This pattern makes me happy. And now that Peach Skin Sheets has patterns, how can I ever go back to a solid bed?
Never.
But also, if you like the snow leopard, don't forget about snow leopard, which also pairs so well with the bows. So this is the French blue ribbons and bows.
Love.
And of course, this is retro rose.
This is perfect. Put a bow on it. I cannot wait to make my bed with all of these different patterns.
Yeah, but Dana, this is a limited edition drop. It is first come, first serve. There are limited quantities, so you have to pre-order now.
These patterns are so dreamy.
The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Styled by Anya.
Welcome Ernest Cervantes' Burnt Bean Company, fresh off taking the #1 spot in Texas Monthly's Top 50 barbecue list, which comes out every 4 years, so get used to Ernest being on top. Seriously, Ernest, congratulations. How are you, man? I imagine you're pretty busy right now.
I'm good, blessed. Yeah, I've been here since 2:30 this morning and getting ready for tomorrow. Let the chaos begin tomorrow.
If that doesn't give you a good reason why you should go down to Seguin, Texas, the man's been there since 2:30 in the morning. Answer me this, Ernest. It's my first time at Burnt Bean. What are 3 must-have dishes?
I always tell people, if you've never been here, get the Trinity.
Right.
You got to try at the end of the day, you're there for barbecue, and don't get all the crazy stuff until you've been here more than once. As I say, I always say, judge a barbecue joint by their brisket, their ribs, and then your choice of sausage. And we have 3 different choices. Just come on over, and you got to get the brisket, you got to get the ribs, and you got to get the sausage.
All right, so I'm talking to a guy who literally got an award for making the best barbecue. Really, I mean, let's be honest here. You make Texas Monthly #1. You know how to make brisket. What is it about your brisket that makes it such a standout? What makes it the best brisket in Texas?
I tell people that we make a very simple brisket. It's non-offending, but it's executed right. And I think that's where a lot of places overthink it, I guess. It's one of those that, it's brisket, take care of it, let the meat shine. It's not all the crap you can put on it. Let the meat shine and execute it right. And we got a banger of a brisket, I'm not gonna lie.
I know you do. And I just want to add to this, spoken like a true competitor of the barbecue circuit, because if you listen carefully, he gave you nothing on recipe. He was just being all subtle. I know how you operate. All right, so you also mentioned this, you do get it pretty creative, and you can see some of the creativity in the sides right now. I think the last time I went, you had Cheetos on one of the classic barbecue sides. Walk me through some of your sides.
Yeah, so right now we have, our hot Cheeto queso mac. It's literally just queso dip in pasta, and then we cover it with hot Cheetos, and it's a banger. It's people are like hot Cheetos.
Yeah,
it just works. It's a Mexican thing, and we love our hot Cheetos. So we did that. Right now we have our summer, which is like our Mason pickle pasta, and it's a really cool pasta dish that we do. It's cold, it's refreshing. If you love pickles, you'll love it. We got our famous corn pudding. It's a street corn pudding, so it's basically I tell people, if you get a Mexican street corn in a cup and cornbread had a baby, this is what you would have. So it's sweet, salty, savory, so good. It's been one of our signature ones since day one.
And I know another big thing at Burnt Bean is your famous Sunday brunch. I'm literally looking at what I want to say is some sort of major smoked meat breakfast sandwich on a croissant. Tell me about that.
That's our famous Blue October. I named it after one of my favorite brands, and it's pure decadence. It's a buttery, warm croissant. It's got a jalapeno. It's got a candied jalapeno cream cheese on the bottom.
Okay.
A slice of fatty, a fried egg, and strawberry jam. It's straight up sweet, salty, savory, peppery. It'll hit all your savory. It's crazy, dude. A lot of people love it, and it's one of our top sellers. It's our signature sandwich for breakfast.
Now, I also happen to know on good authority, mine, that you make one mean burger. Tell me about this burger.
So it's our red onion burger. I should name it something different than that, because it's not even red onions. It's just yellow onions, but it's red inside. What I wanted to do is make a smoked burger on the grill, but at the same time, I wanted to include the smash burger, right? Everybody's doing smash burgers, but we're not doing that. It's the My Artifact that we have, that nice crusty on top, and it's a riff off in Oklahoma, but it's a patty. I love, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with a smash burger, but I'm just an old school 3rd pound burger guy. It's got to have some substance, and we came up with this burger, and it's a banger. It took me about a year and a half to finally get it right, from the grind to the meat ratio of fat, to the right pickles, to the, the sauce that we put on it, to the bun, and then we serve with our homemade fries and it's a banger, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those that thing sticks out like a sore thumb, and people get pissed because they're like, I'm supposed to be here for the barbecue, but I want the burger as well. And it's really, really, really good.
That kind of takes me to the last thing I want to talk about, time. You spent 18 months on this burger. You've been at the restaurant since 2:30 a.m. getting ready for your next service. You are not a young man. You have been cooking for many, many years. What does it feel like getting the #1 spot for Texas Monthly's barbecue list now at this point in your life?
Oh, I tell people this. I always remember my first top 50 magazine. I was at HEB when I got it, and I don't know how old I was, and I was like, man, that'd be cool if one day I could, be on this magazine and open a restaurant, because that was the end game. And I always tell people I just need 3 bad dudes to come with me and believe in my dream, and that was what we were gunning for. We had 2021. We just opened in 2020. 2021 came out with the list, and we came out number 4, but our whole focus was on 2025. We were really shooting for it, and I'll tell you one thing, for this 46-year-old guy, man, it's been a blessing, and not only that, a dream come true, because it's like, I don't know how to compare it other than if you won the Super Bowl or you worked your whole life for this one moment, and you got it. And that's the crazy part. And it's not one of these, I tell people I used to do competition barbecue, but it's not one of these things that I'll get it next year, or I'll try it next year. No, it's every 4 years, you know what I mean? So to get it for the first, to be #1 for 4 years, I will take it, and I will run with it, and I'll enjoy this beautiful view on top of this mountain.
Man, amen to that. Ernest Cervantes, Burnt Bean Company, #1 barbecue spot in the state of Texas, which technically means the world. Thanks so much for being here.
No problem.
If you like watching these Best Eats Austin clips, you can see a whole lot more by downloading the KXAN Plus app for your smart TV, Roku, or Fire Stick. Go check it out and see all of our Best Eats Austin episodes and a whole lot more.
Voices, the Danny Gans story illuminates the life and showmanship of the famed Vegas performer. So joining me now is the man behind it all, writer and director of the documentary, Andrew Davies Gans, who is also Danny's son. So excited to have him here in studio. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Okay, so kind of give people an idea of how this project got started, because as I mentioned, you are his son, that you're telling your dad's story.
Yes, so my dad was an entertainer in Las Vegas, obviously, for many, many years. And he got known as the most successful man you've never heard of, or the most famous man you've never heard of. And it was because his fame and his success was in like the Vegas bubble. He didn't go on a lot of talk shows. He didn't go on TV and do spots like that, because a lot of his fame was word of mouth. And he was arguably the most successful entertainer in Vegas history. And so after he passed, the world kind of went on, and his name kind of got lost. And I wanted to do something that, honored his legacy and honored his accomplishments. And I felt like I had experienced enough in my career in the film industry to do that and give him, the send-off that he deserves.
Yeah, I want you to tell me a little bit more about why it was important for you to make this, and also maybe like why now? Like why this year instead of maybe in the past, or even waiting a little bit longer?
Yeah, I waited. I knew I wanted to make the film.
Yeah.
And I knew that I wanted to be the one to do it. We had been approached as a family a few times about people who wanted to make a film or a documentary, and we always passed on that. And I was getting started in my career producing films, and I got to the point where I felt like I knew enough and I was experienced enough to do the film justice. So we started, and I wanted to do it just mainly because I wanted to share how inspiring and special my dad's story is. It's a very underdog story. You know, he started out in baseball. He had a career-ending injury and then invented himself and just took this ability to sing and do these impressions to a whole new level. And he had this incredible career that nobody really knew about unless you saw him in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure that I shared that with as many people as possible and honored him in the way that I felt he deserved.
Yeah, I feel like I, just as like a viewer, consumer of media or whatever you want to call me, I feel like I always have a deep appreciation for projects that are very personal. And I also feel like working on these projects and being so integral as you have been has got to be therapeutic and kind of cathartic to some extent. So what's maybe been like your personal kind of emotional response to the journey of making this project?
It's been challenging, honestly. I've grown a lot, and I feel like I've learned a lot about my dad. I feel closer with him now, which is great. I didn't get a chance to, you know, say goodbye on my own terms because he passed away so suddenly, and I felt like this was my version of having a few more years with him and being able to kind of say goodbye in my own way. And it was very special. And during the making of the film, I became a father for the first time myself.
Congratulations, yeah.
Thank you very much. And my daughter, her birthday is actually on my dad's birthday.
No way.
Yeah, so they share a birthday, and her birthday is actually tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, well, happy birthday to her, yes.
Yes.
Well, that's crazy. That's really, really neat. Now, you know, I have to imagine you've learned so much about your dad, you know, from maybe what you knew, but also I know you talked to a lot of kind of famed Vegas performers who also knew your dad pretty well, and you guys bring up a lot of kind of archival footage. So from all of that, what do you kind of feel or hope maybe that your dad's legacy is now that you're kind of bringing everything back up and, you know, making it known for people?
Yeah, I think I want his legacy to be known as just such an incredibly talented human being, but equally a good person. He really cared about the people that he worked with, his band. He really cared about his family. You know, he prioritized being there with us more than, you know, traveling and doing all the, you know, fun things that come with an entertainment lifestyle. We moved to Vegas so he could stop traveling, so he could go to work and come home every night. And I really admired that about him and how he prioritized the family. And I'm very grateful I have this blueprint of how hard he worked, but also how he prioritized his family and the work-life balance as best he could. And
yeah,
I think if people talk about him and people see the film, I would like them to just say, wow, he was such a talented person, but he was equally a great guy.
Yeah, well, and I love that you firsthand got to see as a kid and remember him kind of prioritizing that balance between family and work, right? Because I think oftentimes in media it's so depicted that the dad, you know, kind of prioritizes work or career over the family. And so I think it's nice that you got to see that. Now you're doing that for your own kiddos, right? So that's pretty special. Now, where can people see the film, or how can they see the film?
So we have our screening at the Austin Film Festival today, and after that, you know, we're taking all of the distribution offers, and we're hoping to get a really solid deal out of it. So we're going to be making announcements as that becomes more relevant and real. But right now, we'll be posting on social media. We have the website up. You can follow me at Gans_Andrew, or go to the website, glansrock.productions. And we'll be updating everybody on when the film comes out and where you can see it.
Yeah, one more final question for you here. So I know that obviously with your production company, you've made other films before, but this is kind of what you've been working on currently. So what's next for you? Anything that you can tease for people?
Yeah, so I don't really consider myself a documentary filmmaker. I made this film. I wanted to do this for my dad and also for my family. But I hope that I can use this opportunity to pivot more into directing narrative feature films.
Nice.
And I've been writing a film right now. It's a crime drama.
Oh.
And it's about a former thief who turned to be a high-end chef.
Okay.
And when his brother gets out of prison, he gets pulled back into this life of crime and has to help him. So it's a bit of a different story, but
Sure.
it's something I'm very passionate about, something I've worked on for a while, and I'm hoping that after we get distribution for this film, I can get that one going.
Yeah, well, and I feel like you've got to have the more kind of adventurous scripts and film ready to go after working on something so heavy and personal, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This will be a lot more fun.
Yeah.
The documentary was very rewarding, and I was very grateful to be able to do that for my dad, but I'm ready to get my hands dirty and play with something a little bit more fun.
There you go. I love it. Well, Andrew, thanks so much for joining us. Voices, the Danny Gans story. Don't miss your chance to see it. We're at the Paramount Theater here in downtown Austin, all a part of Austin Film Festival. Wake Up, Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, the third installment in this series by Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson is about to walk the red carpet. We're going to chat with him all about this incredible third film. Ryan, first up, so I know that Agatha Christie's been a huge inspiration for you. So what about her works inspired you as a young person and a writer?
I mean, reading those books as a kid, they were so well written, but they also felt kind of adult in a slightly scary way when I was reading them as a kid. And now as an adult, when I go back and read them, I really appreciate the craft. She wrote for so many years. She has such a broad body of work. She never repeated herself. She kind of did all these little kind of side steps of different genres within the genre. And she's just a fantastic writer. So first, that's the thing that now I appreciate about her.
Obviously, the kind of front man of this whole thing, aside from you, is Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc. So was he always the person you had in mind for that role, or how did that kind of process come about?
No, I didn't even dream that I could get Daniel when I was writing the role. I had no idea who was going to play him. But then the instant Daniel came up, I was like, oh my God. Because I mean, obviously we all love him as Bond. I had seen him in a bunch of other things. I'd seen him on the stage. I knew what a talented actor he was and what range he had. And I thought, he can do anything. I can't wait to see what he does with this.
I feel like you are so humble about your work, so I'm curious to know, did you ever think that Knives Out would become the kind of cultural phenomenon that it has become over the last several years?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. No. When I was writing the first one, I was like, because I was coming off of Star Wars, and I kind of wrote this little murder mystery, and even some of my friends I showed the script to were like, "You sure this is what you want to come off of Star Wars into?" It was kind of like a musty old genre. So I really, it was something I just did because I love the genre so much, and I don't know, I just wanted to get away with it, see if we could get away with it. And it's been such a joy to see people and families, and especially my friends with kids, to see kids be into it, because that's the age I was at when I got into these murder mysteries. So,
which that leads me into asking, you know, we kind of live in this ever-changing world. It's always filled with a lot of uncertainty, and these films bring me a lot of joy. So what do you kind of hope the films continue to bring people watching at home?
They're made for exactly this. They're made to sit in a big theater. They're made so you can take your whole family to them, sit in a big theater and laugh and shout and guess at who's did it and this and that and talk about it afterwards. They all have something to talk about, hopefully. So they're made to be seen with a crowd. I love that they come out around the holidays, because that means the family can get together and do that, which again, that's what a lot of my memories are growing up watching these. So that's really why we make these.
All right, yes or no, can we expect more adventures from Benoit Blanc and the Knives Out series?
Oh, yes, I hope. Yes, I hope. Yes, I hope. I would be a happy man.
All right, Ryan, thank you so much.
We have a lot of fun here on Studio 512. If you missed any of our great segments, be sure to check out our website, where we like to post the fun things we do. Our feed covers content like arts and entertainment, food and drink, fashion and beauty, home and garden, stuff for kids and pets, as well as information from area experts. In addition, you can check out web-exclusive content that you can only find on Studio512TV.com. We also love to post behind-the-scenes funny moments, outfit inspirations, and more on social media. Find us by searching for Studio 512 on your favorite platform. You don't want to miss a single post. Be sure to follow us, check out our website, and watch us every weekday at 11 a.m. right here on CW Austin.
You can count on one hand how many months this hot new barbecue trailer has been open, but it's not surprising word has gotten out because the barbecue at Parrish mixes the flavors of Louisiana, where Chef Pitmaster Holden Fulco is from, with the Texas trinity of brisket, sausage, and ribs, plus a whole lot more. Holden, great to have you here, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
All right, so Parrish Barbecue, already doing things different over there, but it's my first time. What are 3 must-have dishes?
Definitely going to be the full duck for sure. That's probably our heaviest hitter, our house-cured ham, and our crawfish cornbread dressing. Those are 3 things you can't get on the menu anywhere else. And then if you want all of them and you have a couple friends with you, the lanyap tray is a great way to try kind of everything we do and maybe need a really long nap afterward.
Okay, and that pretty much just sums it up right there. So the lanyap tray, first of all, lanyap, what is the origin of that word? I could take a guess, but I feel like you might have a better story.
Yeah, it's a Cajun French word, you know, down there in South Louisiana. It basically just means a little something extra. I could have said we have a family tray for X amount of people or whatever, and named it, you know, something easy, but I wanted to do something a little different, name it something kind of fun. And it is kind of fun talking to people that order it because half of the people have no idea how to say that.
Kind of like me. I struggled as well. Lanyap, everybody. Lanyap.
Yeah.
So walk me through your brisket, ribs, sausage.
Yeah.
Obviously, you learned from some of the best guys out there like Interstellar, but what are you doing? What's your spin on the smoked meat game?
So I would say the brisket's probably the most traditional thing we do, but everything we do, number one, we cook over hickory. That's something that sets us apart. In fact, I'm pretty sure we're the only people in Central Texas cooking on hickory. We get it from Chief Firewood. I know I'm his only hickory customer. It puts a little different flavor on the meat. It's a little smokier than post oak. It's kind of what I grew up with. And then we slather all of our brisket and our ribs with Louisiana hot sauce instead of the traditional, you know, yellow mustard that you'll probably get for most places.
Okay.
And then, you know, otherwise it's pretty simple, salt, pepper, but we do put Cajun seasoning on those, sort of like our version of like, you know, seasoned salt that a lot of places put on there. And then the brisket gets a little bit of beef bouillon as well, which kind of amps up that umami factor. And then the pork ribs, we put a Steen's cane syrup glaze on them.
Okay.
And that's a traditional syrup that's made in South Louisiana that's made by cooking down cane juice from a sugar cane that's Louisiana grown. So it's a sort of like a lighter molasses. It's got a kind of a slightly bitter, you know, flavor, but it's not nearly as bitter as like blackstrap molasses. It's got kind of a interesting earthy character to it. So we kind of finish the ribs with that so they'll have a little sweetness to them.
I'm assuming a guy from Louisiana is going to have a little boudin on the menu.
Absolutely. Every week, we've done brisket boudin. We've done we did a smoked lingua boudin for Cinco de Mayo. Last couple of weeks, we've done more traditional pork boudin with liver in it. We did a pepper jack one as well. So I'm kind of mixing it up. We're going to be doing some duck boudin and maybe even goose or rabbit boudin probably this fall.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
And by the way, pretty amazing that you have a duck on the menu too. Now, I feel like the sides really do stand out and reflect the Louisiana culinary traditions. You've got this one side that when I look at it, I swear to God, it looks like a scoop of potato salad with like chunks of crawfish in it. But I want to say it's not potato salad, but maybe something people have around Thanksgiving. Tell me about that side.
Yeah, crawfish cornbread dressing. It's our heavy hitter side. We sell out of it every single day. It's basically taking everything you love from a Thanksgiving dressing, or I guess if you're from up north, you might call it stuffing. Cornbread based. We make the cornbread, we crumble it up, and we basically make a cheese sauce as well. It's got cream, cheese. It's got tarragon in it, which I think goes really, really well with the seafood. And then, of course, all your Trinity veg. And we mix that with some heavy cream, and then we just pour it all over the crumbled up cornbread, mix it all up, and we cook it in the smoker. So it's sort of like a spoon bread, if you will, nice and moist. The flavor of the tarragon really comes through, and it goes really great, you know, with a bite of rib or sausage. And we can't seem to make enough of it, so people love it.
I'm gonna do everyone a big solid and just get right to it, because you are a classic barbecue trailer, so we gotta fight the heat. Any advice on the best day time to come in? Because one thing about hitting a barbecue trailer, especially in Austin, Texas, in August, let alone half the year, is dealing with the heat. Any pro tips on a good time to come in and get into some of that lagniappe?
We are open till 8 o'clock, actually. So, you know, you can beat the heat if you want to come for dinner Thursday through Sunday. You know, and we're actually going to be showing football games out here in the backyard this fall, so it'll be great time to come. Thursday's a great day. It's not super busy, and believe it or not, our backyard that we have here is pretty well shaded. So we've got a canopy up that people can stand under while they're waiting to order. And we take all of our orders with a handheld. It's pretty fast, so people can get, you know, they don't have to stand in line very long, and they can run inside and grab a cold beer.
Holden, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on what already has started to be an explosive run for you. Congrats.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
If you like watching these Best Eats Austin clips, you can see a whole lot more by downloading the KXAN Plus app for your smart TV, Roku, or Fire Stick. Go check it out and see all of our Best Eats Austin episodes and a whole lot more.
Content segments during Studio 512 were paid for by Austin 125, styled by Anya, and Alzheimer's Association.